In problem number 27, we're asked to solve, which means that we need to get the letter by itself. So we're done when this x is all by itself. So we're going to start moving a bunch of stuff away from x. When I'm solving, the first thing I always look for is, are there any parentheses? And I notice right here, there's parentheses right here. So that's the first thing we need to do. If there's parentheses, you take whatever's in front of it and you distribute it, which is a fancy way of saying take everything inside of this parentheses and multiply it by 5. Okay, so we're going to do that first. 5 times 2 is 10, so I'm going to write a 10 here. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15, so we're going to have negative 15 x's right here instead of negative 3 x's. And then this 10 is not in the parentheses, so the 10 is not going to get times by 5. So we're just going to write plus 10. Okay, let's now look over to the other side. No parentheses over there, so I can just write equals 50. Okay, so what do you do after you've taken care of the parentheses? Once I do that, what I like to do is cover up one side at a time. And I like to look and see, is there anything over here that's combinable? Are there any like terms? So I've got 1, 2, 3 things here. Do you see how the first one and the last one, those are just numbers? They don't have an x attached to it. Those are combinable. So 10 plus 10 is 20. So it would look nicer if we just wrote 20 over here. But we should also point out that there is also still a minus 15x. So we need to write that too, minus 15x. So to go from here to here, we just combined like terms. Okay, over here, again, there's nothing to combine, so we'll just write equals 50. Okay, once I've taken care of like terms, what I like to do is put a finger on each side and ask myself, are there letters on both sides of the equal sign? And there's not. There's only an x right here, so I don't need to worry about this. So I need to focus right here now. I am done with this problem when this x right here is all by itself, which means I need to take the 20 and move it over to the other side. I also need to take this negative 15 and move that over there, because then x will be all by itself. So the negative 15 is connected to the x, and the 20 is not connected to the x. So there's a rule that says you always move the one that's not connected first. So first we're going to take this 20, and we're going to move it over to the other side. This is a positive 20, so the opposite of a positive 20 would be a negative 20. So I'm going to go minus 20 over here, and I have to do it to the other side as well. So let's see what we've got now. So these 20s cancel out. The only thing left over here is negative 15x. And 50 minus 20 is 30, so 30. Okay, so again, I'm trying to get x by itself, so I need to get this negative 15 to move over here. And you have to move something by doing the opposite. So this is, how would I read this? I would read this as negative 15 times x. The opposite of timesing or multiplying is to divide. So I'm going to move the negative 15 by dividing, because the opposite of timesing is dividing. So divide by negative 15, divide by negative 15. Okay, so these negative 15s cancel out. The only thing left over here is the x. And 30 divided by negative 15 is negative 2. So I finally have x by itself, which means I've solved. So x equals negative 2. We did it.